Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Brad Garlinghouse versus Gary Gensler. And they're going to be taking a special look at some other stuff going on with XRP, with the lawsuit, and will they replace Swift? But let's start with this tweet here from Brad Garlinghouse, my hero in crypto, to be honest with you. This 100%, it's ridiculous and frankly shameful that Chair Gensler was touting the SEC's enforcement actions as the cop on the beat, yet per public reports, met with SBF multiple times, but was caught completely flat-footed when the alleged fraud came to light. This is from the Wall Street Journal, this original tweet. It says, for months, Gary Gensler claimed to have authority over crypto and warned about self-dealing at their exchanges. Why didn't he investigate FTX? And when you really break this down, Gary Gensler is at best incompetent. At worst, he is the most corrupt politician in all of Washington, D.C. Gary Gensler fails to anticipate FTX collapse, says Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse called the meeting of the chairman of the U.S. SEC with FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried a shame. It's ridiculous and frankly embarrassing that Gensler's chairman is touting SEC enforcement actions, but according to public reports, meetings with Sam Bankman-Fried, met with Sam Bankman-Fried several times, but was caught red-handed when the alleged fraud was finally revealed, Garlinghouse said. Everyone has to ask Gary Gensler on what SEC changes when BlockFi approves and pays $70 million out of $100 million US dollars imposed by Gensler. BlockFi makes payments to the SEC, for God's sake. The SEC is the second largest creditor in BlockFi bankruptcy, said John Deaton. Now, here's what's very fascinating. Breaking news today, the money that BlockFi paid the SEC was given to them from FTX using customer funds. The SEC is going to actually have to claw back its own funds it received from BlockFi. He further questioned the action of Gary Gensler, who often urged the crypto industry to come to the SEC in BlockFi cases. Dean assessed that the SEC did not provide clear guidelines regarding crypto regulation. But what policies or practical actions are implemented by the settlement, Gensler said, go in and out. BlockFi does, and it pays a lot of money to do it, but how does this settlement provide guidance to others? How does this settlement protect investors? Truth is, Gary Gensler has not done his job at all, people. He is supposed to provide clarity, regulation in the crypto space, and he has done neither. Meanwhile, all Gary Gensler cares about is this XRP lawsuit, as you guys can see, which we have a new schedule in the Ripple lawsuit. The long-running lawsuit between US SEC and Ripple is yet to receive summary judgment after a complete deposition by all parties. However, attorney James Filan, I don't even know how to pronounce it, to be honest with you, has dropped an updated schedule of the XRP lawsuit after Ripple and SEC asked the court to extend the deadline. The attorney informed that till now, the parties have been fully briefed for the motions of summary judgment. It is still unclear whether these disputes will be resolved before or at the time of the decision on the motions. However, the motion to exclude expert testimony is fully briefed and still remains pending. He highlighted that District Judge Torres has given out a ruling on these disputes regarding the sealing of the motions in the XRP lawsuit. Attorney gave out the crucial dates ahead in the XRP lawsuit. Ripple and SEC are waiting for a ruling on motions for summary judgment. However, the motion to exclude expert testimony is still pending. We are still waiting to see what is going to happen with this, but we have been given kind of a new timeline. My estimate for this is that we will see this case end sometime in between Q1 and Q3 of next year. But meanwhile, even though they have this lawsuit and Brad Garlinghouse has been fighting against Gary Gensler, Ripple as a company has been moving forward. Ripple to replace Swift, newest GPI direct response to ODL's expansion to more than 40 countries. Now, ODL, of course, is on-demand liquidity. This is one of the newer Ripple products. If you're unfamiliar, back in the day, they had these products xCurrent, xVia, and xRapid. They've redone all of that. Now they have RippleNet and ODL on-demand liquidity, in which you have to use the XRP token to settle. Ripple noted that the fiat-based RippleNet customers are upgrading to ODL in Australia, Brazil, Singapore, the UAE, the UK, and the US. XRP price has dropped approximately 61% in the past year, remains 89% down from its all-time high of $3.40, which it did not match in the previous bull run. Ripple, a leading American blockchain infrastructure provider fighting the SEC in a lawsuit, is working to help reduce cross-border friction through the real-time global settlement platform on-demand liquidity. The ODL has significantly been adopted worldwide, with Ripple noting that over 40 new markets have been onboarded in the middle of the lawsuit, that is. As such, market strategists unanimously agree XRP is significantly undervalued and perhaps suppressed by the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. You don't think? Brooks Entwistle, SVP of Global Customer Success at Ripple, recently noted, with ODL's expansion into nearly 40 payout markets around the world, representing 90% of the FX market, the proof is in the pudding. Comment below, what is your favorite kind of pudding? Business can rely on crypto to deliver the speed, efficiency, security, and scalability required to complement our formerly purely fiat financial infrastructure at low cost. Additionally, Ripple noted that fiat-based RippleNet customers are upgrading to ODL in many parts of the world. However, the ongoing Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has significantly hampered XRP growth, both in the US and overseas. For instance, XRP's price did not surpass its all-time high in the 2021 bull run. Nonetheless, the XRP market has managed to remain in the top 10 crypto projects by valuation. It's held strong because of the connections the company is making. And when the lawsuit is finally over and Ripple wins or gets a favorable settlement, no question in my mind, XRP heading to the moon. All right, guys, that's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.